Record-breaking 24-hour donations came in, and it's from people that you would least expect. Now the question then still becomes two things. Are we too far for the election for this tidal wave of support, the new support for Trump, to actually hold? And secondly, what is the next step if the Democrats can't use this lawfare? Did you know when the sentencing is? It's just days before the RNC. There's a lot to play when it comes to Trump, and we're going to talk about the good things. We're going to talk about the good news that he received just the last few days, and actually the bad news that the president received. However, there's still a lot of time before November 5th. Let's talk about it today. This video starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to The Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. It is June 1st. Thank you for supporting us in May, for watching our content. It means the world to us. Yes, we've been suppressed a little bit, but we love sharing our thoughts here and our commentary here on the world. Give us a thumbs up. It does help us spread our message. And if you are not subscribed, please check your subscription. Subscribe. It costs nothing. It'd be worth doing. If you heard that that's a tweet sound, please go over and follow us on Twitter too. We're doing 2 giveaways each and every month. We got all the May entries in, so we will be doing a random drawing tonight, and we'll be doing a release tomorrow for 2 gifts from May. So please make sure you are subscribed to this channel and then also following us on Twitter. Now let's talk about the seriousness of the video today and some of the good news, but also some caution that we need to be preparing for. So for the good news, record 24-hour donations. Trump campaign announces nearly $53 million raised. Now listen to this, that's more than $2 million per hour. Over 1/3 comes from new donors, meaning people who typically didn't give started giving because of this prosecution. And also, it's not, I don't want to say prosecution, I want to say persecution. And here's the thing, and Trump made a comment and I thought was very good. Again, a lot of times he kind of repeats himself, and sometimes his bombastic ways, he misses the point on some of the things that he's trying to say. But he made a good point yesterday, just like he's made several times before. Their fight is not with Trump. Their fight is not to go after Trump. Their fight is to destroy Trump because of the movement that he has personified. The American First, the fact of what we believe as a conservative, true populist movement. And I would actually say true libertarians would feel the same way too. The people that consider themselves Libertarian Party, most of them are not true libertarians. That shows by who they elected. So I believe you're seeing a populist movement, kind of the center-right movement, and I think you're seeing even a fact of more people coming along to Trump. And here's some great news for him. There's a story that showed that there are more young folks moving towards Trump now, meaning not only young men, which we knew, but even young ladies, and also most of Gen Z is polling towards center-right or the thoughts of a populist-style American First mentality. Now, does that mean that there's huge hope for Gen Z? I hope so, but what we are seeing is young men are saying, what we're doing is crazy. I mean, like, for instance, it's June 1st, so you know it starts this month. I mean, they're having rallies everywhere of just people being nude in front of their kids all over in all these city parades. Do you honestly believe that that's a good thing? No. So I think there's some civility coming back to the young adults saying, okay, we've seen that people have went the wrong way and rebelled way too far. The pendulum is way too much. We are causing major issues for our dollar, major issues for our morals. Even if they're not religious, they're like, morally, what is right about people wanting to be someone else or literally ride a bike completely naked in front of children? So we're starting to see that swing back to where Democrats are losing some of that younger base because people are saying, I don't care what you think about this, this is not right. So that's a good thing. So they're moving towards the conservative movement, the populist movement. One thing I do like is they're staying away from the establishment style Republicans, and they're moving towards this conservative or more libertarian or freedom oriented right, which I think is going to benefit us in the long run. Now here's some caution. We see a great movement. We see people, I mean, there were stars like Dennis Quaid, there was Jason Aldean. All these people started bringing up the fact that, look, this is wrong. And so now you're starting to see this movement of people move towards Trump. Now, politics are so short-lived. We forget so much in politics when someone makes a mistake. And I'm not saying that's a bad or good thing. I'm just saying we have this good momentum. Can this momentum hold till November? I don't know. That's the part that I'm a little scared of. You know, you're going to go through summer, you're going to go through the fact of school starting back, you're going to go through the fact of just life and all the stuff going across the overseas. We talked about yesterday with Russia. Can this momentum hold Trump? Here's another thing. Could they destroy the momentum? Because here you have the sentencing for this trial, even though it's a sham trial, even though we believe it's a sham trial. The sentencing is 5 days before the RNC. What if all of a sudden they sentence him and send him, quote unquote, right to jail? What if all of a sudden they say, you know, you gotta stay in jail while we sentence you? You know, we're not gonna allow you to go out of state during this time of sentencing, or as you post bail, as you post bond. There's thoughts there. The RNC the momentum would die completely at the convention if Trump couldn't even be there. The whole point of the convention is to bring the fact of the nominee as the forefront, the main speaker, the one pushing for the party. If he's not able to be there, that shows, of course, a corrupt system. But I'm not putting anything past this judge or past the creepy little smile that Biden did yesterday on camera. These kind of things are going to ramp up. If they cannot use lawfare to stop Trump, what are they going to do to stop him next? His numbers are crazy. He actually went up 6 points in the polls. 6 points in the polls just since the sentencing. So you give a week from that, the momentum is definitely shifted his way. The question is, can we hold the momentum to November? And then the sentencing part of this, are we going to be able to stay away from the crazy sentencing and the timeline that they put? You think it's coincidental that they just put it right before the RNC? It's a little shady, and I think that we need to pay attention to that. New poll shows Biden with significantly reduced support among young voters. It took a 6-point swing advantage to Trump, but also that he has shrunk his own lead. So not only the fact that Trump is gaining momentum, some of the people that are saying, I'm not voting for Trump, they're literally just saying, I'm not going to vote, period, because I don't want to vote for Biden because he's not representing me. So that could actually help. You know, will they pick Cornel West? Will they pick the Green Party? Will they pick RFK? I don't know. But what I'm saying is, by them saying the ones that are disinterested in voting for Biden, that's not voting for Trump, for them not voting, that could also help Trump, along with the fact of the swing of 6%. The main part of the youth vote is they're saying the cost of living concerns, the fact that we can't buy a house, the fact that we can't afford vehicles, the fact that we're in debt up to our eyeballs makes us not want to vote for Biden. So it's not the fact that they love Trump. They see the problems, they see the movement of craziness and a double standard, but they're also saying, I just want to live my life and stay away from politics. Now y'all have involved us in politics, and we can't even live because we can't afford our own lifestyles because Biden has put us in such a precarious economy. The latest polls show that not only did Trump go up, Biden's numbers fell among people who likely supported him. Minority voters alike, from Latinos to African Americans, are not supporting Biden. Gen Z and millennials, while less than a quarter of the younger votes approve Biden's performance, there is still a significant portion that are undecided that are trending towards Trump. Another good thing, it says independent voters approve of Trump rose by 4%. So 6% of people swinging to Trump, and then 4% of views towards likely voters voting for Trump instead of Biden. So that's a 10-point swing, and also the fact that Biden has lost a good margin. All right, 2 more things, and I want us to really wrap this up with the fact that we cannot let this momentum go. There's an insider in the Manhattan DA's office that said we will likely recommend for 1-year prison sentence for Trump to go to Rikers Island. And of course, we don't know if it's going to be house arrest or Rikers Island. Remember, all they want to do is get through the election. They don't actually think that they're going to get this guy for long. The appellate court, I know that Trump is appealing to the appellate court. The appellate court is made up of even more liberals than Juan Merchant. So I don't know if that's going to benefit him at all. I think it's going to take the Supreme Court stepping in, which of course it will go to the Supreme Court. But it's going to cost likely hundreds of millions of dollars for Trump to fight this battle. It's a sad day when we realize that the fight is actually not on Trump. It's on the conservative populist movement. And remember, Elon Musk said it just yesterday, and I thought it was very good, because even though he's not the biggest Trump fan, he did say this. He said, what this proves is that our nation is willing to go after anyone who is opposing the narrative. And I think Elon Musk knows that more than ever, because he was pretty much the leftist darling, and now he's become the hated person just because of free speech. Even though supporting SpaceX, even though supporting, Tesla, even though he is building what they've wanted for so long against petroleum, he is now hated because he allowed for free speech. So you see Trump, Elon Musk, some of those that they're getting targeted, it's not the fact that they're targeting them per se, they're targeting what they bring to the table. The independent voice of Truth Social or Twitter, the independent voice of the thought pattern of how they feel, and they want everybody to have their voice to be able to speak it. Not only that, the populist style movement to say, why are we delving in all these fights when we need to focus on America first? So can we keep the momentum up? We better, or the next fight, the next opposition, the next risk could be against one of us and our families. We have to make sure that this guy wins, no matter if you like him or not. It comes down to the point of, look at how your country has been ran the last 3 years versus the 3 years before. If you want your family to be able to buy homes, to buy their own food, to be able to afford it, and the fact that they can have a vehicle to drive in and not be in piles of debt, then we know we've got to change something about this economy. And if we don't change the president, then what's going to happen is we're going to get the same status quo, and even looking at signs of war. For instance, as we allow Ukraine to take what we have built for our military and use it against Russia. We have escalated that tremendously. We have to change leadership. Everything's trending in Trump's way, but can we hold the momentum? That's the key. Trump made the comment, if they can do this to me, they can do this to anybody. Searches for Trump and this verdict was up 3,300% online. There was more people reacting saying the judge was wrong, even down to the world searching for Trump was in minority saying that this was the right decision. Everything is trending towards Trump. We just got to hold it up. And like he said, if they can come after me, they can come after anyone. I'll read one thing that says, this is a guy who shared this on Twitter, and I think actually Jesse Waters shared it on Fox. It says, Judge Merchan was randomly selected for 2 of Donald Trump's cases from a list that he wasn't even on. From a list of 24 sitting judges, 1 judge was supposed to be randomly selected to take this case. Judge Merchan was selected, but he was not even on the list. So out of 24 judges, he was not even on this list. He's an acting judge. Judge Merchan is not only a Biden donor, he donated to the organization called Stop Trump. Judge Merchan was randomly selected for 3 cases: the hush money case for Trump, the Trump Organization fraud case, and the Steve Bannon case. As Trump said, it's rigged. Also, this judge and, of course, his daughter are tied to, of course, so much Democratic funding, and there's millions poured into that consulting firm over the last few months. So was this a randomly selected judge? Was these randomly selected people to orchestrate this trial? Has this been fully coincidental? I think not. So now it's your time to stand up. We work a hard job. We live in a hard economy. We have to feed our families, pay our taxes, and ultimately try to get through the month, each and every month. But we cannot lose the fact that we have to keep this momentum going. Remember, they're not after him, they're after the conservative populist movement. There's been kids not allowed to speak Christ, and they've held their diplomas. We've seen the fight against conservatives and getting arrested and put in jail. The fight is not with Trump or Musk. The fight is against conservative, food sustainable, food prepping style people who want to live a life of wisdom and common sense to stay away from the status quo of the government-led organizations. So what that means is we have to keep the momentum up. We have to push forward and look hopefully for a strong November 5th. I'm scared to know what can actually happen. Let me know your thoughts. This is great news for Trump, bad news for Biden. The thing though is, can we hold the momentum? And will people just allow their light to burn out and be like, oh, well, he'll be okay. You know, I've got other things to do. I've got to pay my energy bill this month. And so we forget about this. But remember, when we take our eyes off this, it shows that they're actually fighting not against Trump or Musk, against us.